Baby, I'm ready. It's time to get the latest celebrity info.
Yeah. Oh!
It's the big scoop of entertainment news with Cappuchino. Big. On Philly's Power 99.
It's Philly's Power 99 with me, Cappuchino, and with me, when I say I got a special guest, I know I call all of my guests special, I do, but you've been in the business for a minute. I got Mr. Benny Boom, Philly's own Benny Boom up in here. How are you?
How you doing? I'm good. I'm great.
Look, when I tell you that, I feel like I know who you are just from all the videos from, when I was younger and all the artists that you work with. I'm like, I know who Benny Boom is, but I didn't know you were from Philly because I'm not from Philly, so I didn't know.
Oh, get out. Okay.
Yeah, so welcome home.
Thank you.
Of course, you're working on this big project. Of course, All Eyez On Me.
Yeah.
So all eyes are on you right now. Yeah. It's the story of the late Tupac Shakur. Tell us about how that all went down, because I know, in a sense, you were kind of like the third director added on to the project.
Yeah. So a lot of Hollywood films go through several incarnations, from a script to a director to studios to actors. So this project was no different in that terms. There were other directors on the project before me, and a lot of times creatively, sometimes directors fall off because there's creative differences with the producers and that sort of thing. So when I was hired, I was in line with creatively with L.T. Hutton and Morgan Creek were trying to do producing wise with the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've never met Tupac Shakur. Out of all the artists that you work with, this is one that you haven't worked with.
I never worked with him, never met him. It's so crazy. But I lived in New York. Since I moved to New York in '94 from Philly, and I was around all the places that he was around. So when he was at Nell's, something, oh yeah, you heard what happened with Pac yesterday at Nell's, and we would be in Nell's the next night or something like that, or you know what I mean, or the Octagon Club or something like that, or Chaz and Wilson's or the Shark Bar. Like all these are New York clubs that I frequented at the same times as Pac. So I was in that area, in that era,
right.
At the same time.
So did you feel a little nervous when being pulled into the project? Like, okay, even though you didn't get a chance to meet him, did you feel nervous in trying to tell his story?
No, because you know what, I'm hip hop, and I fight for the culture all the time, and Tupac is the culture.
Right.
He's the biggest icon that we have
right.
in our culture, and I felt ready because in terms of a filmmaker aspect, I've done all the homework. As far as telling Pac's story, it was about the script and what story are we telling. There's so many layers to the man's life that for us, the script that we shot from is a story that humanizes Tupac, because there's so much mythology and legend.
Yes, we've heard several.
Yeah.
I mean, we still think he's alive right now.
People still think he saw the movie and he's in Cuba somewhere with Asada Shakur or something like that. So, which is not true.
Right.
Let me just put that out there. That is not true.
But I will say also, the guy you guys have playing Tupac, what's his name?
Demetrius Shipp Jr.
He looks so much like Pac. When you saw him, when you were introduced to him, how was that meeting with you?
It was crazy, because I saw his picture first, and I talked to the producers, and we were like, yeah, this is the guy. He had never acted before.
Wow.
Which for me was good, because we didn't want, for our lead actor, we didn't want baggage for Tupac. When I say that, I mean we didn't want someone who you could say, oh, I remember him in such and such a movie, or this.
Okay.
Wanted it to be fresh, and I think that's another reason. In fact, aside from him looking so much like Pac, I think that's the other thing that resonates with people when they see it, because there is nothing else you can connect this young man to except for this role.
Wow.
At this point in time. Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to actually shoot the film? Because I feel like we've been talking about it for a while now, and it's finally about to happen. How long did it take?
We started production in December of 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we shot for about 48 days, and we edited. And then, when you release a film, it's important, because it's one thing to get the film shot and done, but the next thing is to get it released at the right time. So timing had to be perfect.
Okay.
So it comes out June 16th, which is Tupac's birthday. So he would have turned 46 years old on the day that our movie's released. So that's divine planning right there.
Also, when it came down to you directing the movie, did you feel like you had to pull back a little bit from time to time and make sure that the story was right? Like, who did you speak with to make sure everything was in place and that you were doing a good job in telling this untold story of Pac?
Because there's so many aspects of Pac's life, we talked to everybody. I mean, really everybody. We spoke to relatives. We spoke to people who like Suge. I mean, we even got down to without we got down to the people who harmed him in New York at the Quad. There was conversations with those people.
Okay.
You know, conversations with the people who were co-defendants with him in the rape trial.
Wow.
Like,
so
was,
y'all dove in deep.
Yeah, because we wanted to be upfront. You know, luckily between myself and LT Hutton, we had enough. We know enough people, and we you know earned enough respect in the industry to be able to have these conversations and say, look, we're making this movie about Pac. We know this happened with you and Pac, or such and such, and we know what Pac's story is, because our movie really is from his point of view, right? So when you see the film, you'll see that he's telling his own story in the film.
Okay.
And it's what he says, but we also need to fill in some of the gaps, so that's where these conversations came from. So whether it was Suge Knight or one of the men who was actually in the lobby when the robbery of Tupac happened, you know, we didn't, no stone was left unturned. We talked to everyone. I
feel like this is a story that everyone really wants to see, but I gotta ask you, it's only right. It's the great debate here, because I know you said earlier that Pac is one of the legends, but the great debate, you never met Pac. Out of Biggie and Pac, who's your favorite?
Oh, who's my favorite?
Yeah.
Favorite what, rapper?
Yes.
Or favorite what?
Favorite rapper.
I would have to say Pac, only because what he left to the world was bigger.
Okay.
I think lyrically, when I hear Big, I just dance. You know, Big had that. Part of it was that Jamaican flow a little bit to the way he rocked. So you hear the music, and he delivered it so differently. And Big had, you know, the husky voice.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then at the same time, Pac's, what he talked about was so true and real. You know what I mean? So I also think that because both of them were great, that you don't have to choose.
Okay.
Man, you could love both of them at the same time. It's
you know, I feel like one of our DJs, Doc B, whenever he mixes, he go in, I'm like, hey, I'm staying out of that conversation.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's one of the great debates. I like them.
I mean, it's
both.
It's Jordan and LeBron in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, more likely Jordan and Magic back in their heyday.
Okay.
You know, who was better, who was the greater at that time.
Right.
But they both were great, and I think unfortunately both of them are gone prematurely. And I mean, who knows what they would have left on the world? You know what I'm saying? Had they still been alive, it would have been crazy for hip hop.
Yes, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And that's why you're doing this story. Like I said, I love the idea about it. When I first heard about it, I'm like, okay, it's gonna happen. Yeah. But at the same time, you're like, okay, please don't let this be a Lifetime movie.
Right.
No shade to Lifetime, but we've seen how they treat some of our artists.
It's crazy because I had I went for an interview with the producers of the Aaliyah story a couple of years ago, and I remember coming into it, and I knew Aaliyah. Like that was very different than the Tupac situation. I knew Aaliyah, so I remember sitting down with them, and the first thing I asked them, I said, "Have you guys talked to Barry and you know, who's her uncle? Barry Hankerson is her uncle, and also managed R. Kelly and all there." And it was a very lukewarm response.
Oh.
Right. So, knowing Mr. Hankerson the way that we know him in the industry, it was like, well, if you don't have that, then how are you going to make this movie?
This story, right?
Yeah. It was like, how are you going to make this movie? And so we see what happened from it, and it's unfortunate because, you know, Aaliyah, you know, we called her baby girl, and that she was important for us. You know, there's still singers and girls out there now, whether it's Ciara or Kehlani in a way, like there's still these singers and performers that have a bit of Aaliyah still in them, and she has a story that should be told because she was special the same way Pac was. So, you know, we definitely were not making the Lifetime version of the song where, you know, we have the music, we have all the rights, we have the blessings, you know.
So also, with that being said, is that sounds like you kind of want to create a movie about Aaliyah. I don't know where you going with that.
Oh, I don't. You know what's funny? You know, I would have to. You know, I don't know if that would be my next movie because again, it's such a see the difference with that is that for me is a little more is a little more
personal.
Because I know her because when I was a PA in New York, a production assistant on music videos, she shot a lot of music videos in New York, and she would actually make sure that I was on the set working, and so she had used one of my brother Little X, who's the director. he shot a video for her in DMX called Back in One Piece.
Yes.
And I remember I got to the set early, and she hadn't met X before.
Okay.
And she wasn't sure, and the label hired X because X was hot. X was hot, right? Little X was hot. So she came. She said, "What's up with this director? Is he good?" I said, "Yeah, it's my man." She said, "I don't care if that's your man. Is he good?" Right. So I said, "No, trust me. He's legit. This is the dude." And I wasn't directing at the time. I was Little X's assistant director.
Okay.
So I was there. So the day had went well, and she turned to me. She said, "Okay, he's all right. He's all right. See, that's why I trust you." And it was just that kind of relationship. And I would see her out and all the time, and we, I'd be in a club, and she would make sure she found her way over to me. It was just cool. And so it was really, it was sad for when she passed because I knew a lot of people on that plane. You know what I mean? So it was just a tough situation, and I knew everybody that was there because we were part of Hype Williams' crew.
Right.
And I was at the time part of that crew, but I didn't go on that shoot.
Okay.
So it was just really deep for us at that time.
Oh wow, man! So like you said, that probably won't be your next project, but after this,
probably not.
This movie right here, All Eyez on Me, is a huge project for you. Yeah. The buzz is out right now before the movie even comes out. Yeah. After this, when the buzz kind of, I'm not gonna say fade out because we gotta wait for the DVD, and that's gonna be even more buzz. Right. What's lined up for Bitty Boom? Like, what's the next big project?
I don't know. We thinking about it. It's like when Mayweather has a big fight, they're like, "What's next?"
Right.
So I'm in that mode. I'm waiting for the big fight to happen, get the win, and then we'll see. We talk to the managers. Like, what is it? Floyd says he talks to his managers and stuff. But there's stories I want to tell.
Okay.
There's stories I want to tell about this city that I think need to be told because this city needs it. I'm always watching a movie about Boston or no diss to Boston, but it's just this Boston is hood, but a different sort of hood the way that Philly is, and so there's a lot of stories here that I want to tell. There's always been sort of an autobiographical story about myself coming up and growing up that I've been wanting to tell. TV, television is big now because you got more than just the regular networks. You have all the cable networks and then the digital platforms and all this stuff. The streaming platforms, right? So now there's a space to tell, and they need content. So I'm talking to a few people here, notable folks from here, trying to develop things for the city so we can not only just tell the story, but we can also start to galvanize people from in the workforce of filmmaking and sort of bring that here to Philadelphia. Atlanta, I don't even know how they did it. Like, Atlanta has exploded. Yes. They have more productions in Atlanta than they do in Hollywood this year. They've had more in Atlanta than they've had in Los Angeles. And I can attest to the fact that 20 years ago there was virtually no crews in Atlanta, no film crews. You had to bring your own into there. So if they can do it in Atlanta, we can do it right here in Philly. Of course.
I like that too. So does that mean that you're completely done with videos and all that as well, or you're still working on it by request only?
By request. I just recently did some music videos for Nicki Minaj. Who is has been very instrumental in my career. Keisha Cole, another person.
You've done a lot of stuff for Keisha.
I think 13 or 14 music. I've done more music videos for Keisha Cole than any other artist. And then Nicki's it's close to that amount. And so these are like special people to me, friends, and I feel like for me it has to be about the music and just relatable, because it doesn't make sense for me to do the video if I can't add anything to it, but yeah, I'll still do them if I get the feeling.
Right. If it's the right moment.
If it's right. Yeah.
All right. So you're still doing videos if it's the right moment. You want to work on more film, but what about, like we said, some of these streaming sites and cable channels? You thought about doing like a series of some sort too?
I have a couple things in the works.
See, I can read your mind on the slate.
Here's the thing: like when after the movie comes out, we'll be able to talk a little bit more.
Okay.
We have right now we actually have a documentary coming out about the native tongue family. That a few guys from Temple University directed it, and I'm producing it.
Oh, nice.
With our company, So. It's the story of the native tongue that people don't know. It's De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest and the Jungle Brothers, and how that collective in the late 80s and early 90s sort of formed this clique together, this band of brotherhood of MCs together, and what came from that. So you see the tree of the native tongue family and all these other groups that sort of come from that, all the way down to the Kanye Wests and the J. Cole's of the world. So it's a very interesting documentary, and we're working on that right now, and it should be out soon, probably late this summer.
Like you said, you're a hip-hop guy, man. Yeah. So does that mean that also with your feature projects, is it always going to be based around music? Are you trying to venture out eventually out of the whole hip-hop era type thing, or we still want to incorporate it?
I think that everybody, you do what feels right for you, right? So if the right... I like drama. I like things that deal in crime sometimes. I like those types of things. So if the right script comes along, it has nothing to do with hip hop, that's fine. You know, I'll do the film, but I will put my feeling and soul into it, so you'll know it's me.
I like it. Well, y'all make sure y'all go check out his feeling and soul and the brand new movie, All Eyez On Me. Of course, the late Tupac Shakur. The movie is pretty much an untold story about him, and it's coming out on June 16th in just a few weeks. So make sure you guys go out and support Mr. Bitty Boom. So thank you so much for stopping through.
Thank you, Philly.
Yo, chill with the station that holds you down with the hottest hip hop and R&B joints. It's Philly's Power 99 FM.